If this palette had a sound effect when you opened it, it would be womp womp womp. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to be doing a review. As you saw in the title, this is going to be a palette roast as well as a review of the wonderful Natasha Denona Tropic palette. If any of you all are makeup lovers like me and you check the Sephora site and the Ulta site probably a little too often, you would have seen that in Sephora's weekly wows, this lovely baby dropped from $129 to $75. And I was thinking to myself, you know, I just hit 900 subscribers. I could give myself a little bit of a treat. This is something that I could invest in. I've heard wonderful things about Natasha Denona. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get on this bandwagon. And I had not been more excited for a palette to arrive. You know, the color selection, although it wasn't anything revolutionary, I'm like, these are mattes that I could use every day. Once again, it's an investment. They have some really beautiful colors that I could use. This is something that I would use, and I'd heard wonderful things about the formula. So obviously we hit that buy button, and here we are now. We can get some of the formalities out of the way. This palette obviously originally retailed for $129. I do not know if it is currently still on sale for $75. It is a limited edition. And I know you guys know that I have been trying to get away from the limited edition, but I wanted to invest. You get 15 shades that are 1.5 grams a piece, so a pretty good size for your money. I know cost breakdown and yada yada yada, but honestly, let's just get into talking about this bad boy. Alright, let's get into swatching this dingity dang thing. We have Peach Puff right here. I will say the mattes do feel very nice, and these mattes are honestly the least fall outy I have ever used, so there is that. I forgot to bring you all in nice and close, and if it looks like I'm sweating profusely, it's because I am. So there we have those. Next we're going to go in with, oh my goodness, oh, it's like this, Fake Tan, Cocoa, and Sahara. Going on like this. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Next up is Nudist here, Vintage Taupe, and Pastel Melon. Going on here. Then we're going to get into some of the shimmers. We have Gusti, yes, right here, which is a really pretty, like, pink whatever with, like, almost green whatever going through it. Then we have Limoncello right here, and I am going in pretty hard here. So we have Gusti, Limoncello, and whatever that one was called there. I don't know if you can see, but Limoncello and this one right here are a bit chunky, so you have to smooth them out, but they got potential. That one's very lackluster. You know, we haven't lost faith in the palette just yet. I'm actually going to move on to this arm for the other ones here, so let's go like this. Then we have Exotic right here, which looks like such a really pretty green. All right, we're gonna go around in there. Then we have Laguna. Then we have Tiger Lily going around pretty good in there. Now, I don't know if you all can see, but do you see how, like, faint? And this is a shimmer. It looks like a matte. It really does. But can you see how, like, faint that was? And with the blue here, you can see it's got the cracks in my skin. And then last but not least, Xena, which is this beautiful purple matte. going on her. So we have the shades here and here. All right, we got the shades. Let's get into talking smack about this thing. All right, so right off the bat, we are not going to really discuss or roast the color selection because I did spend my money on this. I knew what I was getting into. So I just thought the colors, although not very revolutionary, the mattes were something that I could see myself getting a fair amount of use of, as well as the shimmers. I thought this was something that, like I said, I would get a fair amount of use of in my collection. Starting off, let's discuss the mattes. This palette, although I purchased for $75, which is a little better, still up there, exorbitant in palette price, it originally retailed for $129. The mattes are okay. They're not very fallouty, which is a plus. They are not horrendously pigmented. It is what I have on today. I have tried to film this 3 times, so I've worn this palette a plethora of times. And it being any other palette, say from Too Faced, Urban Decay, Anastasia, to have mattes that are okay is like, all right, it's a limited edition palette. We, traditionally expect a lower quality spectrum, but because you are spending $129, I expect mattes that are a little better than just okay. They simply aren't the formula. The formula. We were just talking about the formula because the colors obviously already have these, but the formula is nothing that I don't already have. I can get this formula and better in my Urban Decay Naked Heat palette, my Anastasia Soft Glam, Modern Renaissance, Jeffree Star Blood Sugar, Lime Crime Venus Extra Large palette. There is a plethora of palettes that I own that have mattes that are significantly superior to this for a lower price point. So that, in and of itself, was pretty upsetting. I'm able to make it work. It's a nice, red toned, whatever look. I did go in with a different shimmer than what was in here. But is this anything that I can't get from my Modern Renaissance? No, it's not. And the shadow quality is less. I will say, for a pastel purple and a pastel blue, these two, pretty good. Not horrendously pigmented, you gotta build them up, but they do look nice after building them up for a little bit. There is that. Now let's talk about these shimmers. As I said, I have worn this palette multiple times because I wanted to really I've used every freaking shade in here. And one look that I did, I filmed this video and then I got up to edit it and my phone had eaten the video. I was not happy, y'all would have seen on Snapchat. But the first time I used it, I just did kind of the mattes up here, and then I went in with this exotic shade, the green, on my lower lash line, and I dipped in and I was like, oh, okay, that's not very pigmented, that's not very pigmented. And so when I went to film this review, I decided I'm just gonna go in all in with this. And this shade, and just all the shimmers, are so, number one, not very pigmented. I mean, they look kind of nice in the swatches. These two especially, the blue and the green, which are two of the standouts in the palette. They are this weird, crazy, hard-pressed formula that when you're swatching, you really got to dig your finger in there and then you press really hard. And it's like, the pigmentation is kind of there, but don't expect to get it on your eye with a brush. I don't know if you can see, let's see here, you can kind of see in the green how much I've dug into it. And then this blue, let's see here. Do you see how it's like getting hard pan and it has like this weird chunky bit up there? It's like, I don't know what is going on with these shimmers. The limoncello and the mint frost are hideously chunky. They do not adhere well. You get it in and you're like, okay, all right, that looks kind of nice. And then you tap it on your eyelid and it's just falling down off your eyelid. Gusty is kind of pretty. I actually treat this one more like a matte than a shimmer because it doesn't really show up on as a shimmer. And honestly, what really kills me is just, I mean, maybe I'm just not an awesome enough makeup artist to know how to use this super unique formula, but the formula of these two shimmers are just so, it's hard pressed, it's difficult to work with, it isn't pigmented, it is horrendously disappointing. Which is kind of why I'm grateful that, you know, more of the palette is mattes than these shimmers, because, you know, even though the mattes are okay, at least it's something that I can use. These shimmers were the most frustrating thing to work with. Honestly, this palette has been the most frustrating palette that I have worked with in 2018. And part of what kills me, I understand, like we've discussed on my channel, limited edition products are notoriously known for being lower quality. But when you have a brand that has such a high reputation as this lady and her formula and her everything, and when you have the balls to charge $129 for this, you are definitely up for being roasted, because that is abysmal. Like, if I buy a palette that's $45, $50, that's a lot of money. I understand if it's a dud, which we have had, it's less whatever, but $129, it's not worth that. It's not worth the $75 sale price. Honestly, with the quality of this palette and with how difficult some of these key beautiful colors are to work with, I wouldn't even put a $50 price tag on this and say, yeah, that's good, let's put it out to the consumers. This palette just really got me heated in all kinds of ways. It just, I mean, I went in trying to be, I didn't go in with like crazy high expectations, because I was like, let's just go with it. But even with the expectations I had, it was exceptionally underwhelming. The shimmers just make me so I wish all of you could come to my house and swatch these two specifically, or and see for yourselves and try to work with them to see how horrible they are, because all you have right now is my word on it, and just, in your whatevering, if you have seen this on sale at the Sephora and you're like, maybe I want to splurge, maybe I want to treat myself, treat yourself, but treat yourself to something else. Just pass on this. No, this is just angry, very angry. Alright guys, there is that palette roast. I started using it. I asked on Snapchat if you guys wanted to see a review. Some of you guys said yes. I was like, alright, I'll review it. I started going into my using it for the reviewing, and I was like, this palette doesn't even deserve a normal review. We're in the thumbnail. I'm like, is it good? Is it bad? It's like, no, this palette sucks. And like always, this is my opinion, guys. If one of you guys have this palette and you absolutely love it, that is great for you. I don't need anyone coming for me in the comments talking about, well, Natasha Denona's regular formula is amazing. I'm sure it is. But at the time, I wanted to spend $75, not $129. So if we can keep it civil, definitely let me know what you think about the palette. If you agree, disagree, you have it, you love it, you hate it, all that jazz. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you, and as always, keep it real. Mwah!